Yeah, so let's move on to Michael Jordan and Avery Johnson just slamming the door shut on the GOAT debate, man. Like he didn't leave no room for no conversation or no debate, which is funny because Mark Jackson, who his podcast is on Cameron and Mason's channel, come and talk to me. But Mark Jackson is on there with his son, and his son is a young guy. I think he's probably in his late 20s, maybe. So he mostly watched a lot of LeBron, and he thinks LeBron is the GOAT. Well, Mark Jackson obviously don't agree. So every time he invites someone on the show, I think he's had Reggie Miller on. Now Avery Johnson. I think he's had Kenny Smith on. And he always asks him, man, who's your GOAT? And it's funny because I did this video on when Kenny Smith talked about who Michael Jordan and who the GOAT was. And Mark Jackson's son was giving pushback. And I think he's at the point now where I don't know how much I can push back. Like these older guys are speaking games that I can't really debate against. But the way Avery Johnson said it, it was just like it ain't no room to debate it, right? So listen to how Avery Johnson said it when he was asked about it.
Let me ask you this question: who is your GOAT basketball player? You've seen a lot, you've played against a lot, and you witnessed a lot. Who is the greatest basketball player of all time?
Yeah, so we can really peel back all of the numbers. You can even go with the eye test, but everybody else is a distant second behind Michael. Just a distant. And there's no disrespect on it. So please do not send me any details. Okay? It's my opinion. Right? Michael, just for all the different reasons, but when you win 6 championships, you're the MVP of all 6. You never get to a game 7. And all of the defensive player of the year, the first team all defense, first team all NBA, MVPs, regular season MVPs. I think there was another stat that, he didn't have as many as the revolving door of free agents that he played. And he did it with one team. And you have to go through Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics and the Lakers, Phoenix Suns, and Clyde with that Portland team that could have easily won championships, and Karl Malone and Stockton with Utah. The rules were different. There was a lot more restricted freedom of movement and physicality. So yeah, it's Michael, and I just the clutch shots and just two-way player. Yeah, yeah, it's just Michael. What they did with the Dream Team. Yeah.
Okay, and we get it. It's just Michael. I'm fine with that.
You get my drift?
Let me ask you.
the dead silence after he finished. That was just like, because he didn't leave no room for a comeback. Like Mark Jackson's son didn't even say that. He was just looking like, sheesh. Like that sums it up. It's kind of like when I used to tell my friend, Michael Jordan is better on offense and better on defense. That's the whole game. Like there's no other part of the game. It's offense and defense, and Michael Jordan is better at both. Case closed. Like how do you come back from that? You're not gonna come back and say, whoever, like LeBron is better on defense. You're not gonna come back and say that. Like there's some ignorant folks that say, well, he can guard more positions. Well, I mean, what value is that? What value is it that you can guard more positions if you can't lock down none of them? Like can guard and can lock down, totally different things. Can you guard a power forward? Sure. T.I. got a splitter. Can you guard Tim Duncan? No. Can you guard a center? Sure. For like 2 minutes. If it's Rudy Gobert, maybe. But can I, if I need to come, is it game 7? I need to lock down Jokic. Can I throw you on Jokic? Yeah, no. Can I throw you on Shaq? No. Can I throw you on Hakeem? No. Can I throw you on Dwight? No. DeMarcus Cousins? No. Right? Can I tell you to go and shut down Steph for 4 quarters? No, I can switch on the screen and maybe guard him for like a possession or 2. But me chasing him around for 4 quarters? Nah. No, I can't. So you can guard 2s and 3s very well, just like Jordan can guard 2s and 3s. And he can guard some 1s as well, but the really good ones used to cook them. I mean, I've seen my Muadu like put it on him. Now, it won't happen often, right? Especially when he got a little older. He trying to guard Iverson putting that crossover on him, but he got the win. You know what I mean? Even with that crossover, he contested the shot really well. But you don't want to throw Jordan on 1s that often, right? You can be honest about that. 1s gave him problems. Rod Strickland gave him problems. Like, that's just too quick, man, for a 6'6" dude, especially when he got up in age. Man, you don't want to. You don't want to do that man like that often, man. You got to rely on him for 30 points. You don't want Rod Strickland cooking him for 4 quarters, right? So, but I mean, it's not even valuable for me to be like, yeah, I can guard 4 positions or 5 positions. Dude, you can only guard 1 position at once, and which one can you lock down? I don't want you to be able to, can guard something. I want you to lock something down, right? So, yeah, people be ignorant with that, and then they say, "Well, he's better on offense because he assists the ball." Well, for a career, LeBron averaged 7 assists, Jordan averaged 6. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about, man? You know what I mean? But what I'm talking about as far as being better on offense is Michael Jordan didn't need the ball; he could do it without the ball. And you know what that does? If my best scorer can get 30 without dominating the ball, guess what that opens up for my co-star? My co-star can facilitate. So now I'm working on all cylinders because I'm still gonna get 30 for my best scorer. But if I got a point guard that facilitates, he get to facilitate. He gets to be a problem for the defense. Because if my point guard is an assist guy, he gets to run the offense, operate the offense, concentrate on not turning the ball over, and get all 4 guys involved, all 5 guys involved, because sometimes the point guard can call his own number. But he runs the offense. He's the coach on the floor. He's not thinking about getting 30. My best player is thinking about getting 30, but my point guard is thinking about how can I get that best player 30 points? How can I make sure he gets the ball in the spots where he liking it? And then how can I look and see they're paying a lot of attention to him? I need to go on this side, right? When is it time to go on the post? Oh, I see a mouse in the house. Hey, rotate, go. I'm directing traffic. Mouse in the house right here. Let me get this. Let me get this post up. Like, that's what point guards do. And your best scorer trying to be dual-hatted and think like that, it causes a lot of problems, right? Because if my best scorer is the one that's the point guard is doing that, guess what? He's not my point guard, so I got a point guard on the floor. And my point guard can't be a point guard because my best player is too busy being a point guard. So my point guard has to think like a scorer, but he's not going to get more shots than my best player. So what am I leaving him to do? Well, what happens is my best player is primarily the primary scorer, and he's primarily the primary assist guy and facilitator. So my co-star can only be secondary at either of those things. He's an afterthought to those things. I get the scraps that the best player don't want. Well, I'd rather have one be primary in one thing and the other be primary in the other thing for my star and co-star. Right? So it's better to have a player that's built like Michael Jordan that can score like that on offense. But as far as stats are concerned, the most stats are going to go to the guy who always has the ball, who's responsible for the the scoring and responsible for the assists. And that's why you see Luka and Jokic and Harden and Westbrook and LeBron. That's why you see them killing it on the stat book and racking up MVPs and stuff like that, because MVPs has turned into a stat-oriented award, right? But they named the trophy after Michael Jordan, and for Michael Jordan, it was about winning. It was about playing both ends of the floor, and it wasn't about stuffing the stat sheet and being a stat guy, right? You know, even though he was, but it was because he was a unstoppable scorer and a relentless defender, right? But the other thing that Mark Jackson said is he said that, I mean, not Mark Jackson, but Avery Johnson. He said Michael Jordan is the guy. He's number one. And it's a distance. Whoever's number two is a distance away from him. I kind of agree, but I kind of disagree. I think as a player, Michael Jordan is number one, and then it's distance. And then you got Kobe at number two as a player. Two best players I ever seen play the game. Those are the two best players. But even Kobe being a carbon copy of Mike and being the second best player I ever seen, it's still a gap between him and Mike. All right, so that's that. But when you're talking about the greatest of all time list, I don't have Kobe at number two because I think Kobe's resume is a little bit lacking, being that he started his career playing with Shaq and playing second fiddle to Shaq. So his career at the beginning was as a Scottie Pippen, even though he was better than Scottie, and we can obviously see he was better than Scottie. You just can't get that bad taste out of your mouth that you was a number two for so long, right? So that hurts him a little bit. So it drops him down a notch. And someone like Kareem, who's a phenomenal player and also a phenomenal winner, he gets in the number two slot for me. And then it's a gap. So I think it's Mike and Kareem, 1 and 2, and then it's a gap. And maybe even a debate for number 3. It's not a debate for me. I got Kobe at number 3. But I'm open to having a conversation about number 3. You know, is it Kobe? Is it Russell? Is it Wilt? Is it Hakeem? Is it Bird? Is it Magic? Is it LeBron? Is it Duncan? Is it Shaq? That's 9 names. I just said 9 names, right? And they all got a legitimate case for that third spot. So that's where the debate in the conversation really starts. There's really no conversation for the GOAT. It's really not. Like, nobody's going to be able to do what MJ did and be that good. Kobe almost was that good, but he couldn't do what MJ did. You know, so the first obstacle a player would have to do is get as good as MJ. And then you got to climb the second obstacle, which is achieve what MJ achieved. And both of those things are very hard to do. Both of them. All right. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section about that.